Hey everyone, and welcome to this official We and Law Civic Education Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a truly monumental shift in consumer rights. We are looking directly at the newly released 2025 FCPC guidelines, rules that are set to completely reshape the digital lending landscape in Nigeria and, quite frankly, put the power right back into your hands.
This explainer is proudly brought to you by We and Law, and our mission today is to empower your understanding of these crucial new laws from the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, or FCCPC. You see, the FCCPC is the authority charged with protecting consumers across the country, and this newly minted 2025 regulatory framework, it is an absolute game changer for anyone using digital financial services.
Okay, let's dive into this. Look, have you ever felt that drop in your stomach, worrying a digital loan app might just randomly text your family members, your boss, or even your church group to publicly shame you over a tiny loan? Yeah, we've all heard the horror stories. For years, Nigerians have faced incredibly aggressive and invasive tactics from unregulated loan apps. But the good news? That era of harassment and data theft is finally coming to an end.
So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. The digital lending privacy crisis. 2. The 2025 FCPC regulations. 3. The ban on data access. 4. Mandatory registration. 5. Your new consumer rights. And 6. Dispute resolution.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the digital lending privacy crisis. A look back.
And this brilliantly illustrates the massive shift we're living through right now. Think about the old way. It was literally the Wild West of digital lending. These apps held all the leverage, right? They'd frequently demand absolute access to your phone's gallery, your messages, and your contact list just to grant you a small loan. But the 2025 regulation completely flips the script to demand strict data protection and total privacy. This isn't just a minor policy tweak. It is a massive, definitive victory for everyday consumers who just need a financial bridge without surrendering their fundamental right to privacy.
Real quick, if you want to stay empowered and continuously informed about your civic rights, hit that subscribe button on the We and Law YouTube channel right now so you never miss an essential explainer like this one.
Moving on to Section 2, the 2025 FCPC Lending Regulations, the official framework. We're looking at the official Federal Republic of Nigeria Gazette for the Digital, Electronic, Online, or Non-Traditional Consumer Lending Regulations 2025, and I really want to emphasize this heavily. These are not mere suggestions or, just best practices. These are legally binding laws administered by the FCPCP. They must be strictly adhered to by all lenders operating in Nigeria, whether they're a traditional web platform, a mobile app, or some totally non-traditional cross-border digital lender. Which brings us to Section 3. The ban on data access, protecting your privacy.
Okay, this is it. This is the absolute core of the new rules, so listen closely. Digital lenders must not access your customer call logs. They must not access your phone contacts, and there is absolutely no way they can access your photos and personal galleries. Period. Full stop. Under the new 2025 guidelines, your personal data is legally and entirely shielded. There's no gray area here, folks. If a lending app even asks for this access to process a loan, they are operating illegally under this new framework.
Let's look at how they enforce this in Section 4, Form 001, and Mandatory Registration, the lender's obligation. Now, what's really interesting about this is how the FCCPC is making absolutely sure lenders obey these privacy rules right from day one. Take a look at Clause 16 of the FCCPC's Mandatory Form 001. It contains a strict guarantee. Every single digital lender has to sign a legal certification stating their apps are not even designed to access your call logs, contacts, and photos. They are legally locking lenders into this privacy guarantee right at the registration phase. If they lie here, they lose their right to operate.
So the mandatory registration steps make this verification crystal clear. Step 1, the lender must complete Form 001. Step 2, they legally certify on paper that their app cannot access private data. And Step 3, they must secure official FCPCP approval before they can grant a single loan or operate their platform. The days of rogue apps just popping up overnight and secretly harvesting your data, those days are over. The FCPCP is actively verifying data privacy compliance first.
We are about to cover even more incredible consumer rights that you now hold under this law. But before we jump back in, please take a quick second to subscribe to the We and Law YouTube channel. Your subscription really helps us bring more essential civic education to your screen.
All right, on to Section 5, your new consumer rights, beyond data privacy.
Beyond just protecting your gallery and contacts, the 2025 regulations give you massive control over how these apps interact with you. There is now an absolute ban on unsolicited or automatic loans, meaning lenders cannot just force money into your account out of nowhere and then demand interest. It's crazy that used to happen, right? The rules also completely prohibit excessively targeted advertisements that hound you all day. Plus, they mandate the transparent disclosure of all interest rates and hidden fees before you enter a contract. And finally, you now have the explicit right to request a full transaction history of your account at any time.
And finally, Section 6, Dispute Resolution and Enforcement, holding lenders accountable.
So, the crucial point is how this actually gets enforced when things go wrong. The law now establishes strict operational timelines for lenders. When you demand your transaction history, boom, the lender has exactly 24 hours to provide it. When you lodge a complaint, they are legally required to ensure a timely resolution, usually within 24 to 48 hours. They can't just ignore your emails or calls anymore. And if the FCPCC steps in, the lender has just 48 hours to produce their operational records upon official demand. They can no longer hide. Now, you might be wondering, wait, does this apply to the specific app I use? And the answer is almost certainly yes. The regulations define a consumer lending service incredibly broadly. It covers cash, airtime advances, data, cashback, or even barter services given digitally with an expectation of return. Honestly, it doesn't matter how they calculate the interest or what clever name they give it. If they are advancing you digital value, they fall strictly under these FCPC protections. And what if an app decides they want to test their luck with these rules? Well, paragraph 50 of the guidelines explicitly states that any undertaking that contravenes these rules will be subject to strict penalties. The FCPC literally holds the power to revoke their approval, apply heavy sanctions, and shut down their operations completely. There are real structural consequences for violating your privacy and consumer rights now.
As we always say, enlightenment drives true development. So make sure you are subscribed to the We in Law YouTube channel for more in-depth explainers on the laws that actually impact your everyday life.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. With your contacts, your call logs, and your private photos now legally protected by the full weight of the FCSPC, how will you exercise your new rights the next time you use a digital lending app? Remember, knowledge is your absolute best defense. Stay informed, stay protected, and do not ever hesitate to confidently demand what the law guarantees you.